Hey, everybody. Hey, party people. Party people. Welcome to Tanisha. Oh.
And
Hey,
Ike O.
everybody. Welcome to Tea with Tanisha O and Ike O.
O.
We are back tonight and we got a hot and juicy topic that Ike wants to share with the world. So we're going to get right into it. I'm Tanisha O. I'm the author of Empowered Stepmother. I wrote this book as my love letter to stepmothers. So if you know any struggling stepmothers, suggest this book, offer this book, gift this book to them. It's a book that has just shared my journey into empowerment as a stepmother and all the steps that I took, the tools and the strategies that I used in order to go from chaos to peace and harmony. And I'm really excited about where we are right now in our blended family. So here's this book. I'm also a life coach and a motivational speaker trainer. Mother's Day is coming. So if there are any churches, women groups, women events that are looking for a speaker, or you know that I would be a good fit for your organization, let me know and I'm available. So on to it. What are we talking about? It's a juicy topic.
So today we're talking about parents saying that they love the children unconditionally, but they mistreat or they badmouth the other parent.
So are you saying that it's impossible for a parent to love a child if they mistreat the other parent?
What do you mean by like impossible?
So if a parent is bad mouthing another parent, are you saying that they don't love you?
No, I'm just saying that like the child may not feel as though they really love them.
Why?
Because
you're gonna have to explain this.
Okay. Because if the child sees that the parent is bad mouthing or mistreating the other parent, then they might feel like, well, if you don't love her, then you're not loving me.
And how is their love or their actions towards the other parent impacting you? Why does that impact you? I mean, they say they love you. However they treat the other parent, why is that your business?
Because I love them.
Okay. So break that down in a full circle. Talk to me.
So when the parent says that they love us, but they don't love the other parent, it makes me feel sad because I really love that parent. And by seeing the other parent mistreating or badmouthing the other parent makes me feel like, the other parent doesn't mistreat you, doesn't badmouth you, but you badmouth them. And so it makes me feel sad.
So the important message for all of this thing is for parents to realize, in your opinion, and it's something that parents could forget when they say, you act just like your dad, or your dad is so stupid. He didn't even pick you up. He's a jerk. He's a all of these things that people can say, or your mom is just lazy and incompetent and she's no good. When those things are said, since that's a person that you love, when you hear those things, it makes you sad because you're like, how can you love me and you're hurting me through your words because you're talking directly about somebody that I love so much? That's what you're saying?
Right.
Okay. So, and I think it's a great point. So what is something that people can do to combat that?
Like to stop that?
Or change it?
I would say probably you could write like down all your feelings about that person.
Who's writing?
What do you mean? The other parent who is bad mouthing the other parent could write down their feelings and why they're feeling a certain way towards them. That might help to like get all their feelings out, all their emotions out.
Okay, but what if the parent doesn't want to do that? So one of the things that we talk about offline is, who can you control?
Myself.
You can't control what anybody else does. So if another parent is not interested in changing the way they behave or how they do things, what are you going to do? Dislike them?
No.
So what can you do? What can children do to work through that?
Well, the children could change their mindset.
Talk me through that. What can you do? If this is you, what can you do?
I would change my mindset of the way I think of that person.
Okay.
So
Well, keep thinking. Audience, what we're talking about is children feeling as though you can't say you love me if you disrespect or dislike or mistreat or badmouth my other parent. And literally, Ike is kind of walking through this, as you can see, but this is the raw and candid part of it. So what is it?
so I was saying that I would change my mindset about the other person,
Mm-hmm.
because if they are bad mouthing or mistreating the other parent, it wouldn't bother me because I've changed my mindset and I see them as a good and innocent soul.
Right. Because we can't change what anybody else does. We can only change how we see them. And so, what I've shared with Ike and parents, this is me really calling out to all of us to just be accountable. So frequently our children are caught in the middle of whatever a storm it is that we have. And so, when one parent may be mistreating another parent, they feel funny about that. They feel awkward about that. And without knowing, even though you think you're showing love towards this child, and so the child should just be grateful and excited and accepting of your love, they actually could be distancing themselves from you because they're like, no, you don't love me because you're hurting me constantly. And they are taking the hurt and the pain and the anger and resentment that you are putting out, trying to direct towards the other parent. They're taking it all in on themselves. Am I accurate?
Yes, you're accurate.
So, as parents, even for me, when we deal with these various things in our home, I'm always like, we all are responsible. We all are accountable for everything that we do, everything that we say. We can never control anyone else. At the same time, parents, I'm crying out to you to just pause for a second in those little comments that we make out loud. Check them. Those slight statements that we make to our friends, even in the form of a joke, they hurt. This is a child telling you that it hurts and he doesn't like it. And so, what happens when you don't have a relationship close enough with the child where there's so much turmoil, so much pain, and you think you're being picture perfect, prissy mom, or go get him dad, and the child is separating himself from you or herself from you, and you don't even know it because we're all so caught up in our own stuff that we don't realize it. And unless there's someone that they trust enough to say, hey, this is what I'm going through. And you can only hope that the person that they turn to in the midst of all of their confusion is positive to give them good advice to help them do the right thing, right?
Right.
So what's the other thing you got on this list, love?
So I was saying acting a certain way around other people. That's
They don't know what you're talking about.
so when I'm saying acting a certain way towards other people, you might act all happy and joyful around the other parent, but when other people aren't around, you act mean and disrespectful.
So let me clarify, because we got to pinpoint this. They don't know what you're talking about, remember?
Right.
They have no clue. So let's see if I can figure it out, right? If what you're saying is we're at a party, and at the party, when the parent is there or there's an event, when all the parents are there, one parent is nice to everybody. Hey, even to the other parent. How you doing? Oh my God, you're so great. Very friendly. But when no one is around,
they're not friendly.
They're not friendly. They go back to the same. What do you feel or think? And if you've ever experienced this, what are your thoughts of that? Do you feel confused? What do you feel?
Well, when I see it happening, it makes me feel like, oh, wow, there's a change happening. There's a change happening.
Good. So it gives you hope.
Yeah, and I get all excited.
Yes.
But then when I see that it's not changing, it just brings all my hope down.
Oh, love.
I'm not excited anymore. I'm just sad.
So in that moment of sadness, and I know what it's like to be disappointed. It sucks.
Yes.
It sucks, especially when we get our hopes up so high and then it's like this teeter-totter. What happens in your mind when we're like on this roller coaster of yay? Oh, yay. Oh, and Miss Dina, remember Miss Dina, the attorney I just mentioned?
Yes, I do.
She just said she remembers that happening when she was a kid. So you're not the only kid. So when this roller coaster happens and it's yay, what happens as far as your thoughts or opinions of your parents in that time and in that moment?
In the moment where,
Like when it's up, you're like, yay, and it's down. If it happens too many times, what happens as overall with your thoughts of the whole situation? Do you keep the hope? Do you start to think, it's never going to work? What do you think?
well, sometimes I would keep the hope
Mm-hmm.
because I was thinking,
Hey,
well,
Spade.
maybe she is trying to get better,
Right.
but she's just not there yet.
Right.
But after a while, I started thinking it's probably not going to get better, and so I just stopped losing. I just started losing hope.
It makes me want to cry. It makes me want to cry anytime, as a mom, for all the mothers out there listening, you know what it's like when you just want to fix, and fathers, parents, period, when you just want to fix everything for your children. And it's hard when you can't, when you can't fix it. But the only thing that I can do is tell you or suggest or invite you to do the things that will make you feel better, right? So in that moment, what I would say is, because we can't change people, we can change how we see it, right?
Yes.
Keep focusing on what you want. Because even though a person may not change the way you want them to, it doesn't mean that they haven't changed. And it doesn't mean that they're not perfect just the way they are. We spend so much of our lives trying to change everybody because we want them to fit into this little box. But then another person that they meet wants them to fit into this little box, and the other person over here. And there's all these little boxes, and then there's just a piece of us all over the place, and we don't know who we are. And that stinks, right?
Yes, it does.
It's just like when in the beginning, when you had to do one thing when you were at home with us, and you had to do a different thing when you were at mommy's house, and then your grandma, her mom may have a completely different thing that she wanted you to do, and you were like, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
That wasn't fun.
No, it wasn't.
You just wanted consistency, right?
Right.
So what if we invited people to just be who they are? What if you just loved that parent for exactly who they are? And if they never changed, what if? And Mr. Desmond said it's too many boxes. Absolutely. And we can't fill them all. What if you decided to love mommy for exactly who she was? She never changed. She did everything the exact same way for the rest of her life.
Well, I wouldn't say that I would have noticed that she hasn't changed.
Okay.
But when I do change my mindset, I won't keep focusing on she's not going to change. She didn't change.
Yes.
I'll focus on the positive. Well, she's still who she is, and I still love her for who she is.
Right. Think about something, right? As a parent, as children, I'm a child also. I have a mom and a dad, obviously. And as a child, there's so many times that mistakes are made, or on purpose things are done incorrectly, or disobedience, or whatever it is you want, right? But you keep wanting that grace. You want your parents to still love you, and you want them to still forgive you, right?
Right.
It's the same thing with God. There's not one day that goes by that we don't do something that may make God sad or disappoint him, or not be following in the love or the likeness of him, right?
Right.
But do we want him to just judge us based on that behavior all the time?
No.
So the same thing that we are asking God to give us, which is grace, right?
Right.
That's what we get to give as a gift to someone else. Okay?
Okay.
So as we've spoken before, you aren't giving the gift of grace and love and understanding because it's just coming back from her. It may not come back from her. You're giving it because it can come back from somebody else. Whatever you're putting out is what you're going to attract back. So if it's resentment, it's hurt, it's pain, it's anger, it's all those things, that's what's coming back to you. Boom, 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 boom. Kids at school, teachers, everybody. You're like, what's going on, right?
Right.
But when you just send that love out, send that light out, send that love out, send that light out, it may not be coming from her, but I promise you, my love, it's going to come. You understand? It's going to come from somebody. So the reason why I'm always inviting you to shift your mindset is because I want to make sure you're good. Okay?
Okay.
I've told you 1,000 times, my involvement with your mom, she really has nothing to do with me. I have love for her. She's my fellow sister. She's a woman. She's a strong woman. Most importantly, she's your mommy. But daddy and I are here for what? For who?
For me.
That's it. For you. So whatever she does or does not do, what do we always tell you?
It doesn't hurt you guys' feelings.
It doesn't hurt our feelings, whether she's nice or not nice. Does it change what we do for her?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't change. Is that why it bothers you? Because you see us doing something one way and you see her doing something a different way?
Yes, it does.
So in essence, what are you doing to her? You're doing what? Starts with a J.
Judging her.
Oh, say it out loud to make sure they can hear you.
I'm judging her.
Mm-hmm. And what do we talk about that?
Talk about judging. We shouldn't judge other people.
Why?
Because first off, when we start judging other people, we start thinking about all the bad stuff about other people and not the good things.
Right.
But when we don't judge other people, we start focusing more on the good things about the good qualities about other people.
Right. And she has some amazing qualities.
Right.
We can find more good in her than what's not good in her. And if the worst thing about her is she's not always friendly when she sees me and daddy, and you already know that me and daddy aren't fazed by it and it won't change how friendly and loving we are, you should be a happy camper.
Right.
Is it that bad? Is it so bad?
No, it's not.
You see what I mean? Like, it's not even like you're in a good place. Thank you, Zakiya. He said thank you. You're in a good place, because just like I told you when you first shared this with me, I kind of got teary-eyed because I was like, look at my baby standing up for me. Look at you. He's like, wait a minute. You don't mistreat my mom and my dad. I love that about you. I love that. But you know what I love even more for you is that you have the best relationship with your mom. And I want you to be able to focus on kid stuff, like loving your mom, building a wonderful relationship with her, having fun with her every single time you're with her, with whatever it is you're doing, and your little sister, and enjoying the moment instead of spending the moment thinking, she's not this nice when she's around other people. She's not, because it takes away from your joy in that moment, my love, because you're focusing on something else as opposed to saying, I'm just loving this lady just for who she is, because she's awesome. And guess what? That's who God gave you as a mom. She's your gift. And she's your gift for a special reason. Hold on tight to that gift. When God gives us gifts, you can't return the sender. Okay, God, not this one. You gonna tell God not this one? You want a different one? You trying to trade her in?
No, I'm not.
Exactly. You can't trade her in. You love her for who she is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes, love. So what have you gathered from this? Whether she's nice, not nice, I'm always the same. Do I seem fazed by whatever it is that's happening in the moment?
No.
You see, because I'm an empowered stepmom. And my happiness and my joy is mine. I will never put it in the hands of another person to decide how I should feel in this moment. That's your right, my love. And even if it's a mom, even if it's a dad, a teacher, a friend, it doesn't matter who it is. We still are brave enough and courageous enough and bold enough and more than enough within ourselves to discover who we are and decide how we want to show up every single day. Okay?
Yes.
It takes practice. I didn't say it was easy. It takes practice. So what are you committing to, and what did you learn? What can you commit to from this?
So I've learned that even though mommy isn't perfect,
I'm not either. Put my hand up.
Even though mommy isn't perfect, I shouldn't judge her because she's not perfect, and I shouldn't judge her because of all the bad things that she's done. I should change my mindset and think differently of her.
Yeah. And how can you change your mindset to think differently? Talk to me about some of the things that you can do or you're committed to.
I could start thinking of all the good qualities of mommy.
Yeah. Talk to me about some of those.
Um, the good qualities of mommy is cooking.
Oh, okay. Cooking. You like to eat.
Yes.
Okay. What else?
Well, not even though. Another good quality is mommy being able to have fun.
Good
being
job.
able to have fun with
And
me
I'm
and Tache.
and I'm proud of you for catching yourself. You stayed. Good job. I saw you cut yourself, and I'm glad about that. Good job. She has fun. What else?
She also, mommy, she doesn't like. I don't know how to put this, but she doesn't. Okay, mommy doesn't give up.
She keeps trying.
She keeps trying.
She's persistent, so she's trying.
Right.
So you have a woman who can cook, have fun, and she's persistent and keeps trying. Sounds like a good recipe for success. You're doing good, my love. So thank you guys for joining us. This was a raw topic, as you can see. You saw his mind working through these things. And sometimes I'll jump on here to do this just so that you can see, sometimes people may think there's no way that kid has it all figured out and they're planning this thing. Sometimes we chat about things in advance and we have our bullet points, but sometimes we don't. And tonight is one of those topics that is just a raw feeling and emotion, and it's real what kids feel and how they feel about the way we treat their parents, excuse me. So what is your wish to parents? Your last words as a wish, that if you could make a wish to parents, what would it be?
Well, I would say changing your mindset of the way you think about other people.
Okay, because that's what you control, right?
Yes, because that's what you control. You cannot control other people.
Would it be helpful if parents were mindful of the way that they spoke of the other parents, if they were open or willing to change something?
Yes, that would be good too.
Does it
watching the words?
Watching their words? Okay. Does it hurt children when their parents are badmouthed or mistreated?
Yes, it does. It hurts them a lot.
And does it make them question the love that they have for them when they're hurting them?
Yes, it does.
Because as a kid, it's hard to separate why you feel the way you feel, right? Yeah. Look, parents, you heard it from my baby boy, my 11-year-old. He's sharing with you, and you saw this candid conversation. Blended families are unique, and they are roller coasters. We have ups and we have downs, but you know what? The more you commit to being the best version of yourself, whatever that is, as you grow through the changes and shifts, the more you're able to support your children when they're coming to you with these things. So from my family to yours, I love you. If there's anything that I'm able to do to support you as an empowered stepmother coach, this is exactly what I do, coaching with mothers and their biological children, or even their stepchildren, and their husbands, or the biological mother. I'm here for you guys. This book right here is literally my love letter to stepmothers. If there are any events, anything to speak from, as you can see, this is what I love to do. I love you guys. From our family to yours, we love you. Ciao. You got that one?
Yep.
Thank you.